Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to this episode of War Thunder Meta, in which we'll be going into this new little feature that I've been running into more and more, and I have some thoughts about this. This is what we call the Wounded Pilot Less Performance feature, or at least that's how I call it in this one. I don't know how they officially call this, but when your pilot gets injured now, your plane will perform much less. As you see here, this is a very nimble plane that can turn and roll very well. I got surprised there by a bomber while chasing this fighter. He hit almost nothing except for my pilot and the cooling system on the oil. But I still had a lot of time left, but due to my pilot I could not fight anymore. My pilot being hit, unfortunately, but this is not the only time that I ran into it. And we'll be going into why I think this is not a good feature for air battles. Now, in the meantime, in the background, you can enjoy an old match in the US BF 109 F4 with good old MG 151 gun sounds. Just for nostalgic purposes, right? Alright, so you enjoy that in the background while I go into the ups and downs of this new feature. So you've got a pilot, and in the past it used to get wounded as well, but basically the vitality stats in the pilot crew skills gave you more opportunity, a little bit more opportunity to stay alive, let's say. I mean, if your pilot got hit by a 20mm shell, it was dead regardless of what your vitality was. But sometimes when you got hit by the smaller caliber bullets, you had the possibility that your pilot survived and that it was only injured, and that gave your pilot a little bit more oomph, alright? So that was great, and you could still fly the plane normally, you could still do anything with the plane as long as the plane wasn't damaged itself, let's say. So in cases like I showed you, where only your pilot gets hit and the rest of your plane is basically still functional and you could get yourself out of that fight, is now becoming more difficult, because all of a sudden, and I don't know in what kind of percentage this is, but the moment your pilot gets yellow or amber, it's not dead yet, but it's injured, your plane gets less responsive to you as a pilot. So they try to mimic the pilot being hurt by that. This is a problem though, I think, for several reasons. The vitality stat, for one, is now useless. Because, I mean, I think you can better put your points in all the other stats first and then eventually get into the vitality stat. But it's completely useless now, because where usually you might have been dead, right now when you get your pilot injured, you're as good as dead. So vitality doesn't do anything for you anymore. I've had several occasions now where I got hit and I just couldn't control the plane anymore, one which wasn't that damaged, or I had a performance issue where 50% performance or something goes off and you can't really compete anymore and get shot down, like in the example with the G50. So there is that. Vitality as a stat is now dead, let's say. But this is not the main issue. I mean, that is just annoying for people who put a lot of points in vitality. For me it doesn't matter anymore. I have a lot of crews maxed out already. And I don't care that the vitality stat is useless now, as I'm done with the stats. But if you put a lot of points in vitality and you didn't put a lot of points in other stats, then it's quite annoying, I would say. But more importantly is that reversals in one versus many matches will be much more rare. Often, and I have had loads of these matches throughout the years, and you've seen lots of them on my channel if you have been watching for a long time, where I have reversed situations of 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4, 5, 6 and worse. But that was more rare, of course. But in those matches you have to take more risk, you have to take a little bit more head-ons and stuff like that. And this is gonna be more problematic because of this pilot stuff. If your pilot gets hit, you are done, and these reversals will not happen as often anymore. And they were rare anyway, so it's gonna be more difficult to have these epic experiences with 1 versus many that you turn around from, you know, the jaws of hell, let's say. That's gonna be a shame, though. I really feel that's a shame, and let's say that that's already gonna be the case with the more damage, but with the guns, the more damage that the guns do now, But I have no issue with it. I think that's a good change. Your plane takes more damage from guns now. The damage output of the guns have been improved, so that's a good thing. But specifically this pilot thing is very, very annoying. It's not only with the one versus many that it's going to be detrimental to these experiences, but also reversing an opponent after a bad start. You know, sometimes you have to make somebody overshoot, and you are rolling, you are trying to work your throttle and your flaps to get him to overshoot. But before that happens, you know, not always, but sometimes you do take a few hits. And it happened, you know, surprisingly often that my pilot got hit. And I was almost reversing him, but then couldn't make use of the reversal that already happened, or couldn't move anymore, so that I couldn't finish the reversal. And I don't know what the percentage is in reversals that you do actually take a few hits, but you know, if the person can aim that's behind you, it often was a few hits. And I've already had a few situations where my pilot got hit and I could not finish the reversal that I was in, let's say, the attempted reversal. So that was also very annoying. But all in all, with these reversals versus one versus many and the reversals against your opponent, all in all it creates a situation where you will have less epic moments. And it also benefits the winning team, let's say, this change. I don't see this benefiting the losing team. Not as much as it is the winning team. So winning teams will win faster, losing teams will lose faster. It will be more difficult to get epic matches. And the epic reversals that we all enjoy, that's what keeps me coming back, I feel are in danger here. The amount of epic moments you will have, I think, will be in danger with this wounded pilot less performance feature. I think it's a bad mechanic in that sense, and I've been thinking about it. What are the upsides of this change? Are there actually any upsides to this change in the game, let's say? Because I mean, it might be more realistic, but what is the actual benefit to the game? What will it actually contribute to the enjoyment of the game and epic moments? And I could not think of anything that it adds to the game itself. It only creates a little bit more realism. But the effects of this change for the game in itself are not very beneficial in my eyes, because not only do you make the vitality stat completely useless in one fell swoop, you also make sure that reversals from a bad start are not really feasible anymore. As you get a few hits, you get your pilot injured and you're done, say, for in reversals. So reversals against opponents that get on your 6 will be more rare. And also reversals against one versus many will be much more risky and much less regular. And that's really a shame for the game, because these epic moments is what grips me in this game and what keeps me coming back for more. And if these epic moments will be less regular, then that is really a loss to the game, let's say. And all in all, I think well, god damn it, I really don't enjoy this change, let's say. And I'm really curious what you guys think about this change. Do you think the wounded pilot is a less performance feature mechanic is a good change, or do you agree with me that it is indeed detrimental to your game experience and seems a little bit odd in the game when you're looking at the vitality stat and the problematic change it seems to have to me so far on reversals and such? Let me know what you think, guys. I hope you enjoyed the topic, and let me know what your thoughts are. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community, If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, to leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.